This is a daylight murder of democracy, and we all need to regroup and direct our energies to ensure that we fight for the principles that were when India got its independence, and the principles that were framed how this country would be governed.
Thanks to Modi Saab, who was transforming Rahul into a Gandhi. So we can see a new Gandhi into formation.
They have said that 2 years, knowing pretty well that once they do this, that he is going to be disqualified for another 6 years, so totally 8 years. So they are looking at 2024 and 2029.
If you look from east to west, north to south, the BJP is fast degrading in terms of the support. If you look at the post in 2019, the party which fought together with BJP have come out. You look at Nitish Kumar in Bihar, you look at Sena, you look at Akali Dal.
Hello and welcome to The Wire. This is Zishan Kaskar. Rahul Gandhi's disqualification from the Lok Sabha has erupted a political storm. With just a year to go for the next Lok Sabha elections, the next general elections in 2024, the opposition parties, the non-Congress opposition parties, are looking at this event of Rahul Gandhi's disqualification as some sort of a glue to bind this so-called opposition unity together. Just yesterday on 27th March 2023, opposition party leaders including Aam Aadmi Party's Sanjay Singh met at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge in Delhi. But as Pratap Bhanu Mehta writes in his article in the Indian Express, that this opposition unity at the moment is looking like a chimera, meaning that it's more performative than it's real. We'll have to wait and see if this analysis by Pratap Bhanu Mehta is actually true or not. But what we can see at the moment is that the opposition parties, non-Congress opposition parties, actually coming together, at least on paper and at least in the media. And that's why we have all these non-Congress opposition leaders today speaking on the topic of disqualification of Rahul Gandhi from Lok Sabha. Because the way Rahul Gandhi's disqualification process panned out, it gives a lot of space for room for other opposition parties to think that their leaders, their party leaders could be next in line. So usually the parties which do not seem to be speaking up on other political issues which do not necessarily concern their political party are speaking up for this issue of Rahul Gandhi's disqualification. So listen into what these other non-Congress opposition parties, leaders, reacted to Rahul Gandhi's disqualification.
I mean, how do you want me to react? I mean, if you ask me politically, then I would say it's like transforming Rahul into a Gandhi. Yeah, I mean, Rahul was Rahul. And of course, you have this long march that he led in the country.
I think if you look at the chronology of events and how after the Bharat Jodo Yatra, we have seen a concentrated effort coming from the Bharatiya Janata Party to try and derail the entire momentum that was created through Bharat Jodo Yatra, where people from all walks of life joined the Yatra, all political alliance parties joined the Yatra. Right from his speech being expunged to him not being given a chance to clarify, considering remarks were made on the floor of the House saying that he had sought help from other countries to save India's democracy. He was not given a chance to appeal, and within 24 hours, the speed of light, BJP has gone to disqualify him. Just goes to show that there's a bigger reason for him to be disqualified, which is to silence him. And that is what we are questioning. We have absolutely no questions of the court and the procedures. It is about the how BJP has weaponized all sections of law to try and silence the voice of opposition.
What is bothering us as a political party or as a citizen of this country is that how fast and how quick the process has taken place. In fact, that has created a cause of curiosity that why BJP in fact is very fast and swift.
In 2019, this case was filed. 2021, Rahul Gandhi has appeared for this hearing. And subsequently, the person who filed the case has got a stay on this case himself. And the judge also, whoever was there, was changed. And after that, as soon as Rahul Gandhi makes a statement in the asks questions in the parliament, in the floor of the house, to which the Prime Minister has not answered, a sentencing of 15 days or 1 month, which can be, suspended sentence, can be given to, kind of warn a person. But here they have gone they've thrown the full book on him. They have said that 2 years, knowing pretty well that once they do this, that he is going to be disqualified for another 6 years, so totally 8 years. So they are looking at 2024 and 2029.
You know that it is for the first time that any government is trying to stall the parliament, and no less than ministers are given the job to do it. So this was the primary reason that they were not, they cannot stall for longer time. So they got something which they utilized to do this.
अगर देश में पोस्टर चिपकाने पर, भाषण देने पर, आरोप लगाने पर सज़ा होने लगेंगी तो लोकतंत्र कैसे बचेगा? क्या लोकतंत्र बिना भाषण के, बिना पोस्टर के चल सकता है? दिल्ली में आपने देखा कि मोदी हटाओ देश बचाओ, इस पर 150 मुकदमे हो गए। राहुल गांधी को जो सज़ा हुई है और माननीय आजम खां को भी सेम ऐसे ही मामले में सज़ा हुई है। और देश में हालात इतने ख़राब हैं कि एक पत्रकार मंत्री से सवाल कर लेता है, उसे हथकड़ी लगा कर रस्सियों में बांध कर जेल भेजा जाता है, उसकी पिटाई करती है पुलिस। कोई ट्वीट कर दे उस पर जेल भेज दिया जाता है। एक आरिफ नाम के व्यक्ति ने सारस, घायल सारस को बचाया, उसकी सेवा की, उसे दाना पानी खिलाया, उससे मित्रता हो गई। सारस उसने बांध के नहीं रखा, सारस खुद उसके पास आ जाता था और जंगल में भी चला जाता था। उसे उठा के ले गए और उसके ऊपर मुकदमा कर दिया। क्या हालात देश के हैं। मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है कि मोदी जी ने इसका भारतीय जनता पार्टी का विनाश करने का मन बना लिया, इसलिए इस तरह के उलझुल निर्णय लिए जा रहे हैं और सनक से देश चलाया जा रहा है।
This is also a time which seems that it is much more than emergency, in the sense that if you look at the use of central agencies, investigating agencies, they are acting day in and day out. And if you look at their success, it is less than 1%. Out of the 3,000 cases, 95% cases against the opposition. What does it say? It cannot be true, and we cannot believe this, that everything which is bad is on the opposite to the government. Whereas the government, even as a political scientist, we have read that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Lord Acton.
We've seen a series of events happen across the country where institutions like Enforcement Directorate are weaponized to target the opposition leaders, to target governments which are non-BJP in various states. We are seeing how CBI has been weaponized to go for the opposition, while on one hand we have the red corner notice being withdrawn on Mehul Choksi, a known absconder who's run away with Indian people's money, because CBI is so busy focusing on opposition rather than focusing on its work. So we see an embarrassment like we've seen recently in the Mehul Choksi case. We are seeing how now Election Commission of India also has become a part of the toolkit to hand over political parties, disregarding the Schedule 10 of the Constitution, hand over parties overnight to those who have actually betrayed the party. So those are series of events, and now you're seeing how a defamation case has been weaponized, a defamation act has been weaponized to silence a member of parliament who was the most vocal critic of the government of the day. So this is something which we are seeing, that there is an entire set of events which I've given you examples for the most recent developments, which has made Uddhavji say that this is a daylight murder of democracy, and we all need to regroup and direct our energies to ensure that we fight for the principles that were, when India got its independence, and the principles that were framed how this country would be governed.
It's not just Rahul Gandhi. My party MLA was convicted in a case in Simla. I mean, he was the MLA of Simla. And then he was convicted by the High Court, not even by the lower court. And he was a sitting MLA. But his, membership from the Legislative Assembly was not disbanded till he went to the Supreme Court, and finally the Supreme Court took a call, and then later on he again became an MLA from Tiob, the same person. So it's not that we do not know the law. We know the law. The point is that the law has been completely set aside.
The need of the hour for all opposition parties is to get together, regroup, and ensure that the BJP and the ideas that they are pumping into this nation are defeated in the next electoral polls, simply because this entire idea that is emerging, where you can compromise institutions, where you can compromise constitutional morality, you can compromise democratic principles. We are seeing this in various state governments. We saw it in Maharashtra. It's time that everybody keeps their personal differences aside and stands up for the constitution and democracy.
My take on this is that there is going to be a unity in the opposition. That is one side. Basically, people will have to decide about who they don't want as their prime minister. So if you're talking about Modi, who keeps blaming the Congress for all the woes whatever India is facing over the last since independence, he keeps constantly complaining. But if I were to ask, what has he achieved in his 9 years? I don't think there is any single concrete thing. The only thing they said was that we have no scams. See, what we are saying is everybody is under the assumption that a scam is something where an individual, a politician is benefited financially and that is considered as a scam. Here I am openly alleging that this is something where Adani is become a proxy where he is allowed to earn in lakhs and crores of rupees, and he takes care of their elections in the form of electoral bonds. Sri Lanka, there was an official who said that Modi had pressurized for Adani to be given some projects. And subsequently, he revokes his statement and he says that he did it under duress, and he resigns within 2 days. The long arm of this duo is reaching in so many places. You can imagine what will happen to a government official in India. These people are trying to divide the nation in the name of Hindutva, and other than that, they have no other ideology. I mean, like they do not have an ideology for improvement of women, the downtrodden, socially, economically downtrodden. They do not have any concept about trying to educate children. They have absolutely no agenda. I mean, their only agenda is to see how they can be in power and help their friends out.
The opposition voices are getting generated, and but the voices are generating because of something very practical that is happening, and that is that the increase in the strength of BJP. I mean, how much do you want? Already they have plus 300, and still if the country is unsafe, then who is responsible for that? I can tell you, this is another war of independence. It's not that, once Modi is not there, I mean, it's just a cult philosophy of Modi. So Modi cult goes, and then you'll find all of a sudden decline in the strength of BJP. It's not going to happen like that. So culturally, they are very strong. Yes, yes. Institutional change. At the same time, you require massive mobilization of the people, and making and realizing that it's an effort for a better future, for a secure future, both economically, politically, culturally, because this is not what we have to impart to our generation, that you have to fight each other. What we need to impart is that you need to love each other, compassion, empathy. The BJP doesn't teach love, compassion, empathy. What kind of a generation are we producing then?
So out of all the leaders we spoke to, only the Samajwadi party spokesperson felt a little hesitant to back Rahul Gandhi, although he spoke against his disqualification from the Lok Sabha. But he also, in the same breath, mentioned that Rahul Gandhi's disqualification has come because of his own doing, which was in 2013 when he teared a legislation which was brought by their own government. So listen into what the Samajwadi spokesperson had to say.
हम तो इससे पहले पीड़ित हैं. हमारे तो आजम खान साहब और अब्दुल्ला आजम की सदस्यता इसी तरह गई है गलत तरीके से, और ये जो एक्ट जिसमें इनकी सज़ा, इनकी जो सदस्यता ख़त्म हुई है, ये राहुल गांधी ने हस्तक्षेप करके लागू कराया था. हमने तो उसी समय कहा था कि इसका दुरुपयोग होगा, तो उन्हें इस पर पछतावा भी हो रहा होगा कांग्रेस को. और कांग्रेस भी संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को दुरुपयोग करती थी जब सत्ता में थी. तो ये कांग्रेस को एक तो ये अपने अंदर झांकने का समय है, और दूसरे जितना विपक्ष को परेशान कर दिया और जिस तरह से लोगों को दबाया जा रहा है, तो ये विपक्ष की एकता होना भी एक मजबूरी भी हो गई है और समय की ज़रूरत भी है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 2024 में हराना बहुत ज़रूरी है अगर देश में संविधान को बचाना है, लोकतंत्र को बचाना है.
आखिरी सवाल, समाजवादी पार्टी बहुत प्रखर तरीके से भाजपा के खिलाफ काम करती है, भाजपा की नीतियों की फंडामेंटल्स के खिलाफ काम करती है, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं हमें आपकी बातों से ऐसा लग रहा है कि बाकी अन्य पार्टियों के मुकाबले समाजवादी कहीं ना कहीं अभी भी झिझक रही है कांग्रेस के साथ बैठने के लिए. ऐसा क्यों सर?
नहीं, झिझक तो हम बेशक नहीं रहे हैं, बिल्कुल नहीं रहे हैं, लेकिन हम ये चाहते हैं कि कांग्रेस अपने गलतियों पर नज़र दौड़ाए और जो उसकी कुछ नीतियां हैं, जैसे आर्थिक नीतियां और सामाजिक न्याय की नीति, जिन पर बीजेपी और कांग्रेस एक जैसे दिखाई देते हैं, उन पर सोचे, उन पर स्पष्ट करे और हम चाहते हैं कि विपक्ष की एकता हो जाए, लेकिन उत्तर प्रदेश में समाजवादी पार्टी अकेले भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी को हराने में सक्षम है और समाजवादी पार्टी इस समय बहुत मजबूत है उत्तर प्रदेश में, लेकिन कोई साझा एकता होती है तो हम उसमें भी तैयार हैं.
So you heard what all these non-Congress opposition parties had to say about the issue of Rahul Gandhi's disqualification. It will be only in time that we'll able to see the political and electoral impact of this opposition unity in the coming future. But as they say, in a democracy, the future can never be predicted. My name is Zishan Kaskar and you were watching The Wire.